Hey everybody, welcome back. We're doing some cylinder boring today. Got the boring bar set up right there. I just finished up with Tom's L head. And you remember we had to sleeve his block. I think you can still see the sleeves right there. Back to standard bore, minus about 3 thousandths, which will hone out. And then we'll do the valve job on him, and he'll be ready to go. I have this F head here, and this engine was standard bore, but pistons were stuck real bad. Lots and lots of corrosion in the cylinders. I think, well, I'm hoping I could clean it up with the next 10 thousandths over piston. 2 and 3 are extremely bad. I'm hoping it cleans up in 10. If not, we'll have to go to 20 over pistons. But I'm going to try and clean up in 10. We'll see how that goes. I also have an MB block board, and we're getting all these ready to do some honing. So I want to get all the boring done, and then one at a time I'll put them in the honing machine and get them to final size, and I'll show you how we fit the pistons and stuff. You've seen that before, but I do get a lot of questions on that, so we'll go over that one more time. But right now we're going to start boring this this F head, and hopefully it cleans up. Okay, I've got the cutter set up at 3-inch 132. That will give us 3 thousandths clean up in a honing machine, and hopefully we're going to cut all the way through. We'll find out on this first piston if 10 is going to be enough. So let's get cutting. Oh, got to plug it in first. Hang in there. There we go. It doesn't sound like a great cut. Sounds like we're leaving a little hollow somewhere. We'll see what it looks like when we get down there. Okay guys, there's number 1. You can see just a tiniest bit of a shadow there. And that's what I said when it first started. It didn't sound like it was cutting all the way around. About 2 inches down, it started fully cutting and continued the rest of the way down the cylinder. Now I left 3 thousandths on here, and I believe that will clean up in 3 thousandths. I don't think that's going to give us any trouble. We'll get it in the honing machine. I think it'll take all that out. 2 and 3 were the worst. So if they clean up, we'll stick with the 10. If they don't clean up and they get kind of messed up in there, we'll go to 20. But it's not terrible on number 1. I know that'll come out. So we'll just keep boogieing on and seeing how the rest of them clean up. Okay guys, I'm on cylinder number 3 here. Number 2 left a little shadow as well. It's leaving the shadow on the maximum thrust side. And that's where most of the wear takes place. And I think that'll clean up in the 3 thousandths we have left also. Number 3 here was a real terrible one. Let's see how it goes. It's not starting out too bad. Sounds pretty good. Sounds better than number 2. Let's see what happens when we get a little way down there. Yeah, we're not getting all the way around now. Hopefully it won't be too bad. We'll send that guy down there, finish up number 4, then we'll take a close look at the cylinders and decide what we're going to do. Okay guys, there's our 10 overcut. Number 1, we've got a pretty good shadow. Number 2, number 3, not so bad, and number 4, another pretty good sized shadow there. You can't feel it, and there's no ridge or anything, so I believe in our 3/1000ths of honing that's going to come out. I'm fairly confident it might bite me in the ass. I don't know, but we're gonna try and stick that in the honing machine and get that out, because, like I say, I left 3/1000, so it should clean that up and make it perfectly round. But we'll try it. If not, I'll pop it back out and go to 20. But I think it'll come out. So next step, next time you see this, it'll be in a honing machine, and Tom's engine will be in the honing machine, and I got one more to go. I kind of do them in batches, so I'll show you bits and pieces of them as they're all coming along in the honing machine. Okay guys, got the F head in the honing machine, and we're going to try and clean these guys up. Got a few thousands left to go on this guy here, and I've got my fine stones in here. We only had a couple thousands to go, so I'm not using the coarse stones. I switch between coarse and fine when I do these, but if you machine it close enough, you don't really have to go with the coarse. So we'll get some oil started, and then we'll start it up, and we'll start honing this perfectly round. Okay, we'll check that, see where we're at. Just about 1/1000th to go on that. And you don't want to horse your way through this. This is going to be your final sizing, so nice and easy, and just creep up on it. I'll probably take them out a couple times, measure, and then I'll show you how I like to fit the pistons. And I've shown that a bunch of times, but some guys just don't seem to get it. So we'll go over that again, and when we're done with this hole, we'll fit a piston. Okay guys, I got one hole finished, and I got one hole almost finished. I want to show you the difference. Now we got our piston, and we've got some 3/1000ths feeler gauge stock. I got it in a holder because it's easier to pull it in and out, and sometimes those edges can cut you. So if you can get a holder, it's worth it. Now we're going to put the piston in with our feeler gauge down in the hole. You see that feeler gauge pull out? There's a little bit of drag on that feeler gauge. If you look in the manual, it'll tell you how many foot-pounds it is, but you get the feel of it after a while. Now I know this is the number one piston. In today's manufacturing world, you would think that every piston would be exactly the same. But I take all 4 pistons and I try each one in there, and this one is going to be marked as number 4. because it fits the best. Now, we'll take another one, and this is just another random one I'm picking. We'll put our feeler gauge in there. We'll put that piston in there. Now that 3/1000 feeler gauge is locked right in there. Okay? That's too tight. So this is about a 1/2 thousandths left to go. And that's locked in there tight. No good. When the piston expands, that won't be a good cylinder. So you could go right for size. I mean, the Silv-O-Lite pistons that I use all the time, they want you to shoot for a dimension exactly 3" 135, and you'd be okay like that. But hand fitting pistons, the way I'm doing it with the feeler gauge, will get you better off. If I went 3 135 on number 4, that wouldn't have been too bad, but I wouldn't have liked the fit. It's not as nice as I like to fit them. It can be a little bit of a pain, you know, in the honing tank here. You got to take the stones in and out. But if you use your feeler stock and you hand fit every piston, you'd be much happier. The engine's going to last a lot longer. Your piston wall clearance is critical, and the closer you can get it to factory specs, the better off you'll be. Now, this is probably going to take me a little bit, and I won't bore you with just watching the stones go up and down, but I'll show you the fit of the pistons in all 4 holes when we're finished. Okay guys, we're right on size on number 3. I don't know if you can see the gauge here. Get my hand out of the way. I don't know if it's clear or not. But this is set to 3" 135. We're right on 0. We're perfect, straight up and down and everything. We're going to stick the 3/1000 feeler gauge in there. We're going to try all the pistons. That one fits pretty good. Try that piston. That one fits pretty good. And that one's the tightest of all, so we're not going to use that one. I like the second one we put in here. That's our guy right there. I like the feel of that. I like to take a wire, grab the piston. I like to run the whole entire cylinder there. And we're going to try that other one. Just try this one. We're going to run that whole cylinder and see how it goes, how we like it. And after you do some, you'll know what it feels good. Yeah, that's our guy right there, jumping up and down there. Perfect. Okay, this is number 3. Like I say, this is a critical time. Take your time when you're fitting your pistons. It'll pay off with a very long-lasting engine. You won't get any piston slap. I sometimes take pistons out of rebuilt engines, and there's, you know, 20 thousandths of clearance in there. I don't know what guys are thinking, but take your time on this. And I'll finish the other 2 cylinders. We'll get the plateau brush out. Then we'll put our crosshatch in there. And it's a multi-step process, but I'll show you, you know, the whole step along the way. Okay guys, got all the cylinders to size, and what we're going to do next is put what they call a plateau finish on the cylinder. That's a plateau brush, and we're going to probably run that maybe 30 strokes in each cylinder. When you cut cast iron with a stone, leaves it kind of ragged. Even though it appears smooth, under a microscope it would look a little weird. This kind of lays everything down, smooths it out in one direction, and makes a better finish. We're going to run this Then we're going to put our crosshatch in with a ball hone. So we'll do a little bit at a time. This with all the plateau brush, and then all of them with the ball hone. So let's see how this goes. Hang in there, guys. Battery drill ran out of power. Let me go change out batteries. Okay, we got the plateau finish in there. Now we got to go with a crosshatch, and I do it with a ball hone. Some guys like to do it with their stones on a real fast honing machine. I think the ball hone gives a better finish. You want your crosshatch at like a 45-degree angle. Too steep, the oil is going to run away too fast. Too shallow, you'll get too much oil in there hanging around, kind of dragging on you. So we're going to go pretty fast with this, and this will give us the perfect finish. When I get the block out of here, I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay guys, there's our crosshatch finish. I think you could see the angle of that in there. We're always shooting for that 45-degree angle. And you could see it on all the cylinders. Now this did clean up just fine. And I'll come around and show you the sides that were messed up. Everything cleaned up fine. And we're just letting this kind of drip. It's out of the honing machine now. Let it kind of drip. Still got to do a 3-angle valve job. But I hope fitting those pistons answers some of those guys' questions that had questions about it. It's a personal thing, usually, how people fit pistons. That's how I like to do it. Silv-O-Lite pistons, they hold 5/10 tolerance, and it does make a difference. You'll either be a hair too tight or a hair too loose. If you go a little bit bigger on all your cylinders, you'll be fine, but there's nothing like hand fitting pistons, and we get them perfectly fit, every single one to each hole. So that's the way I like to do my engines, and that's why they last so long, and guys run them for years and years and years after they get them. But we're going to end this one here, and we'll be back, and we'll go over the 3-angle valve job again, because I still get questions about the cutters that I use and stuff. We'll go over that again, and we'll get this guy together in no time. But for right now, I've got 2 more engines that have to go in the honing tank, and I'm going to get going on that. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.